Hi everyone, I wanted to create a video on the market conditions of the hotel industry. I've been in the business for a while. Actually, I've been in the business since I was a child, to be quite frank. Like my parents used to run hotels and they put me to work when I was 7 years old, renting rooms. So I'm pretty familiar with the industry and how it flows and what it takes to actually make money in this industry. Um, so I was I was running hotels from 2015 to 2018. After the oil price collapse, I knew that the industry was going to boom because cheaper gas prices allows Americans to drive further and longer, and they're more willing to go on vacation if there's cheaper gas prices. So I got in and I rode the wave, and at the in 2017 it was pure euphoria. The buyers out there, they didn't care about the revenue or any kind of fundamentals with buying a hotel. They're like they just needed a place to park their cash because they were making money hand over fist, and they didn't care if the business was going to be profitable or not. They just didn't want to lose their money. So they levered up. A lot of people were levered up to 80% loan to value. Some went all the way to 90% loan to value with those SBA loans. Um, so it got really insane. There's some people who they needed at least 85% occupancy to break even. Now, as you can see in this article right here, STR, they're like the company that collects all the occupancy and revenue numbers for all the hotels around the world. So they have a massive collection of data. So whenever they come up with any kind of analysis, it's very trustworthy because every hotel in the industry submits data to them so that they can do a wide array. I used to read these reports for my hotels to determine whether I can how to become the market leader. So in this, like in the headline alone, right, it says that August occupancy rate was 48.6. That's rough. I mean, if you didn't have any debt, you could probably survive, but majority of these operators that run hotels now have massive amounts of debt, and they need at least 85% occupancy to service the debt alone, right? And then with RevPAR dropping almost 50% to $49.83, that's huge because RevPAR is basically revenue per available room. So like if you rented if you had 100 rooms and you rented 10 of those rooms for $100 a piece, that's $1,000. But since you had 100 rooms, you allocate that $1,000 to all 100 rooms, so your RevPAR is $10. Um, RevPAR is the best indicator for the hotel's performance. Here, I came on Statista, and it shows like average uh, revenue per available room in the United States from 2001 to 2019. And as you can see, it hasn't really been that low since 2002. And then you can see that it's been increasing. It went all the way to 86.71 in 2019. So to go if you think about what I said, right? There were most people got in right here. Some were dumb enough to get in here, but most of the new players, they got in 2017 when RevPAR was 83.7. So they bought based off this revenue, right? So if revenue went to 49, okay, dropped by half, they're not able to pay their debts. And here you go, right? So in Yahoo, they're saying that the hotel industry's commercial backed securities, the default rate is 23.4%. Okay, this was in August 25th. I mean, winter times are pretty rough. So if they're already saying this during the summer months, which are the peak months for the hotel industry, especially in places that are cold or resorts that are very seasonal and they depend on summer revenue to support their business during the months that most kids are in school or there's like deep winters, they're not going to make it. Come January, February of next year, they're not going to have cash to make their mortgage payments. This is going to get very ugly very fast. People are afraid of going and staying in a hotel, and I understand. Knowing what I know about hotels, I'm very cautious about staying at them, to be honest. So when I see this, I'm like, wow, this is pretty intense. So I wanted to show this to you as well, because this is just one industry and there are many other industries being disrupted, right? Just to give you even more clarity on this industry, right? Marriott International. Understand Marriott was like the golden child during this euphoric rise. So the CEO said that business won't come back at least for 3 years. At least he's optimistic. Like if you saw my petrodollar video about how Schlumberger is just completely getting out of the business, at least this guy believes that it can come back, right? He's saying that the business dropped 90% when the health crisis happened, but they're still down 65% for Marriott. And understand Marriott has a lot of good hotels, a lot of new hotels as well. So their inventory of hotel rooms are quite nice. But with that being said, it's pretty rough across the board. There are opportunities to capitalize on this. To be honest, like if you're interested in doing that, I would wait like 1 to 2 years because there's a lot of capital sitting on the sidelines waiting for this so there's going to be 3 waves of buyers in distressed assets. So the quicker you understand the waves, the better you are. So there's going to be the first wave that sees this nearly 50% drop in revenue and try to buy the property at 50%. That's the first wave. They've been waiting. They've been hungry for like years, waiting for a good deal. And like if there's gonna be these people that believe that half price is the best they can get, so they're gonna go in, but then they're gonna realize that they still cannot make, based off the revenue streams, they still cannot break even on the cost, and they will forfeit. Then there's the people that buy once it's 80 to 90% down. They'll think it's basically free, okay? So they're going to go in and then they're going to realize that even if it's basically free, it's still not going to work for them. So you want to be in the third wave, either getting it for free or they're paying you to take it off their hands. This idea of getting paid to take properties. I know it's very bizarre, to be honest. Like, I didn't think it was possible, but after I saw negative oil and how a highly liquid product or asset can go negative, a hotel which is highly liquid, now it becomes probable that that asset can go negative. And given that interest rates are going negative, it's not that inconceivable to buy asset to get paid to take assets from other people. I know this is probably a new concept for a lot of people, but just think about it. I'll provide other research I've done over the years where I think this is possible. I haven't tested this theory out because it's too early in the game. Most businesses have to get appraised, and appraisers look at 3 years worth of revenue to determine the appraisal value. So the worst appraisal that a hotel will get will probably be about 2.5 years from now, when 3 years of revenue pops up and it's just bad. That's what happened back in the last crisis. In 2011 were the best deals for properties. Because you had 2008, 2009, 2010. Those who bought in 2011 sold in 2017 and made a killing. And they were laughing to the bank until they went and bought another one, and then now they're crying. So I just cashed out. I didn't like go and buy another one, because I knew what was going on. But this is where you have to have a little bit of patience and do a little bit of research. And just drive around. If you're somebody that's interested in these things, I would just drive around and see how hotels are doing and look at which ones might be a possibility for you to take on. If this is a topic that you all want to know more about, I can create more videos. Just write in the comments section that like this is something you want to know, how to determine what hotels are the best hotels to buy. Typically they're around like, what I look for is around 72 to 90 unit properties that are within 7 years or younger, because they don't require as much maintenance. The build quality is also important, and location matters for the property, and then you look at the demographics. But I can go into more detail if you're interested in that, and I can create a video for it. But this is where I see this industry like having a very challenging time for the next couple of years. It's gonna be brutal for them. And there's a number of industries. This is just one. It's close to my heart because I ran hotels, I lived in hotels, so like that's why I wanted to bring this to your attention. But these people are gonna suffer, and if you want to take a chance and look at this, research it for yourself, and look for opportunities. There's going to be a lot of them. That's all I have to say. I hope you have a good night. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.